There's a visitor at your door right now. You didn't invite them. You don't want them there. It might be shame knocking softly. It might be grief pounding with both fists. It might be rage or loneliness or that hollow ache you can't quite name. And every instinct in your body is screaming at you to lock the door, to pretend you're not home, to wait in silence until they go away. But what if I told you that the very thing you're running from is exactly what you need to let in? What if the visitor you fear the most is actually a teacher in disguise? 800 years ago, a Persian poet named Rumi wrote words that would echo through the centuries, words that would challenge everything we think we know about our own hearts. He called it the guest house. And in those few simple lines, he revealed a truth so profound, so unsettling, and yet so liberating, that it has the power to transform the way you experience every single moment of your life. This isn't just poetry. This is a blueprint for being human. This is about what you do when depression walks through your door at 3 in the morning. What you do when anxiety shows up uninvited to your most important moments. What you do when joy arrives, and you're too afraid to let yourself feel it because you know it won't stay forever. We live in a world that teaches us to curate our inner lives like we curate our social media feeds. Keep the good. Delete the bad. Filter out anything that doesn't fit the image of who we're supposed to be. We're told that emotional maturity means staying positive, staying strong, staying in control. But Rumi understood something that modern life has forgotten. He understood that your soul is not a fortress to be defended. It's a guest house, and every emotion, every thought, every unexpected visitor that shows up at your door, no matter how dark or uncomfortable, is arriving for a reason. Listen to how Rumi says it. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Think about that for a moment. Every morning, a new arrival. Not every year, not every month, but every single day, something new is knocking. And we spend so much energy trying to control which guests are allowed in. We open the door wide for happiness, for confidence, for love. We roll out the red carpet. We say, yes, please stay as long as you want. But when sorrow arrives, when fear shows up, when shame or anger or jealousy come knocking, we bolt the door. We turn off the lights. We hide in the back room and pray they'll think nobody's home. But here's what happens when you refuse to open the door. The visitor doesn't leave. Stays outside knocking louder. It finds the windows. It finds the cracks. It seeps in through the walls. Because emotions don't disappear just because you ignore them. They don't vanish because you suppress them or numb them or pretend they're not real. They just find other ways in. They show up in your body as tension, as pain, as exhaustion. They show up in your relationships as distance, as irritability, as walls you can't seem to break through. They show up in your life as patterns you can't understand, as self-sabotage, as that voice in your head that tells you you're not enough. Rumi says, welcome and entertain them all of them, not just the ones that feel good, not just the ones that make you look strong or happy or successful. All of them, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Read that line again. Even if they violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Even if they come in and destroy everything you thought you had built. Even if they leave you feeling hollow and stripped bare. Welcome them, because Rumi says, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. Think about the last time you went through something that broke you. A loss, a failure, a betrayal. A moment when everything you thought was solid just crumbled beneath your feet. In that moment, it felt like the end. Felt like you would never recover. But what came after? What grew in that empty space? Maybe it was clarity. Maybe it was strength you didn't know you had. Maybe it was compassion or humility or a deeper understanding of what really matters. The sorrow swept your house empty so that something new could move in. But you only discovered that because you let the sorrow in. Because you sat with it. Because you honored it as a guest. This is where Rumi's wisdom becomes radical. This is where it challenges everything we've been taught. Because we live in a culture of emotional resistance. We're taught that negative emotions are problems to be solved, obstacles to be overcome, signs of weakness or failure. We're given endless strategies for how to get over things, how to move on, how to stay positive. And all of that creates this underlying message that there's something wrong with you if you feel sad, or scared, or angry, or lost. That those emotions are evidence that you're not doing life right. But Rumi is saying something completely different. He's saying that these emotions aren't problems. They're teachers. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing, and invite them in. Meet them laughing, not with dread, not with resistance, not with judgment, with laughter, with the kind of openness that comes from knowing that nothing that arrives at your door can truly destroy you. Because you are not your emotions. You are the guest house. You are the space that holds them, the awareness that watches them come and go. And when you understand that, when you really understand that, everything changes. You stop being afraid of your own feelings. You stop running from discomfort. You stop needing every moment to feel good in order to believe that your life is okay. Because you realize that the richness of being human isn't found in constant happiness. It's found in the full spectrum. It's found in the willingness to feel everything, to be present with everything, to let every visitor teach you what it came to teach you. The grief teaches you about love, about how deeply you're capable of caring. The anger teaches you about your boundaries, about what you will and won't accept. The fear teaches you about what matters, about what you have to lose, which means what you value. The shame teaches you about your humanity, about the fact that you're not perfect and were never supposed to be. Every visitor is bringing you something, but you only receive the gift if you let them in. You only learn the lesson if you sit with them long enough to hear what they have to say. And yes, some of them will be uncomfortable. Some of them will hurt. Some of them will stay longer than you want them to. But Rumi says, be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. From beyond. From some deeper intelligence that knows what you need better than your conscious mind does. From life itself, which is always trying to show you the way forward. Here's the moment where everything shifts. Here's the realization that changes the game. You've been treating your emotions like they're the enemy. Like they're things that happen to you, things that control you, things that need to be managed or fixed or eliminated. But what if they're not? What if they're not separate from you at all? What if they're part of the conversation you're having with life itself? Every emotion that arises is information. It's your inner world responding to your outer world. It's your soul speaking to you in the only language it has. And when you ignore it, when you shut it down, when you refuse to listen, you're not just suppressing an emotion. You're severing your connection to your own inner wisdom. You're cutting yourself off from the guidance system that's trying to help you navigate this impossibly complex experience of being alive. But when you open the door, when you invite them in, when you sit down with each visitor and ask, "What did you come here to show me?" Everything becomes a teacher. The anxiety that shows up before a big moment, it's not trying to sabotage you. It's highlighting what matters to you, what you care about enough to feel nervous about. The sadness that washes over you out of nowhere, it's not a sign that something's wrong. It's a release, a softening, a moment where your heart is letting go of something it's been holding too tightly. The anger that flares up when someone crosses a line is not something to be ashamed of. It's your inner compass telling you that your boundaries matter, that you matter. This is the shift. This is the moment when you stop being at war with yourself. When you stop dividing your experience into good emotions and bad emotions. When you realize that all of it, every single visitor, is part of the beautiful, messy, sacred journey of being human. And when you can hold that, when you can truly welcome each guest, something miraculous happens. You become free. Free from the constant need to control how you feel. Free from the exhausting work of maintaining a facade. Free to simply be here, fully alive, fully present, with whatever is true in this moment. So here's what I want you to understand. Here's what Rumi is really saying to you across 8 centuries. Your life is not going to be comfortable all the time. You're not going to feel good every day. There will be mornings when depression knocks on your door. There will be nights when fear keeps you awake. There will be moments when grief floods every room of your being, and you think you might drown in it. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can fight it. You can resist it. You can exhaust yourself trying to push it away, to numb it, to pretend it isn't there. Or you can do the thing that seems impossible but is actually the most liberating thing you'll ever do. You can open the door. You can say, "Come in. I see you. I'm not afraid of you." You can sit with that visitor, no matter how uncomfortable, and let it speak. Let it move through you. Let it teach you whatever it came to teach you. Because here's the truth that Rumi knew, the truth that can set you free. Nothing lasts forever. Not the joy, not the sorrow, not the anger, not the peace. Every visitor arrives, stays for a while, and then leaves. But the guest house remains. You remain. The awareness that holds it all, the presence that witnesses it all, the soul that experiences it all. That's who you really are. And that can never be damaged by any emotion, no matter how intense, no matter how painful, no matter how overwhelming it feels in the moment. So welcome them all. The next time shame knocks on your door, invite it in for tea. The next time anxiety shows up, pull up a chair and ask it what it needs you to know. The next time joy arrives, don't hold back because you're afraid of how much it will hurt when it leaves. Let yourself feel it fully. Let yourself be swept away by it. Because all of this is what it means to be alive. Rumi ends his poem with these words: "Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond." Be grateful, not just for the pleasant visitors, but for all of them, because each one is a guide. Each one is a teacher. Each one is leading you deeper into your own humanity, into your own heart, into the fullness of what it means to be here, in this body, in this life, in this moment. Your soul is a guest house. Keep the door open, keep the light on, and trust that every visitor, every single one, is arriving exactly when it's supposed to. Welcome them, honor them, and let them show you the way home to yourself.